Yes guys, directed by David Reese here. In today's video I'm going to show you how to create this paper grunge textured effect. So I'm kind of known for this effect. Everyone's always messaging me on Instagram, how do you create this effect, whatever. So I'm going to do another video on it. I've done this in quite a recent video I've done and everyone loved the video and the artist really liked this effect. So I'm going to just break it down and show you how I did it. So yeah, let's get into it. So guys, firstly you want to head over to Photoshop, and as you can see I've got my photo of my artist kind of cut out in a weird shape. So guys, what I would usually do is take a screenshot from my timeline in Premiere Pro and then create this effect. But on this occasion, I took a photo on my iPhone of the artist sat down in the studio because I know I wanted to use this effect. So what I've done is I've just briefly just kind of, roughly just cut around the outside of the artist, really badly cut it out. That's the whole point of the effect, obviously. And then what I've done is I've used the white paper texture pack on my website to create this kind of paper rip outline of it. And it's just with a clipping mask, so come over to the side and then clipping mask, and as you can see it's just kind of some paper cuts around the outside. Then I've used my grunge texture pack and I've just added some grunge to it, as you can see. And then what I've done on the actual photo itself, I've created a camera raw filter. So if we double click the camera raw button here, I've just created, added some texture, added some clarity, sharpened the image, just kind of made it more grunge looking basically, just to sell the effect a bit more. So that's the textures and stuff. So then I used the tape pack on my website and I've just kind of created some tape around the outside, and then I've used some grunge texture as well. So as you can see, here's a tape from my website I've used, and then I've just added the grunge textures as a clipping mask over the top, just to kind of blend it all in together. So that is how I created kind of the grunge paper look. If you do want to see more on how I kind of did this in Photoshop, just please let me know and I'll go into more detail on it. So now we're heading over to Premiere and this is what we created. So guys, we've jumped over to Premiere Pro now and we've just dragged our photo onto our timeline. As you can see, the 3 photos here is what we're going to use for this effect. We're going to be using 3 of them. You can use as many as you want, but 3 is always good. So as you can see, our photo pops up here and then disappears. So what we're going to do on our second photo, we're just going to drag across a couple of frames. Doesn't really matter because you can change it afterwards, but we're just going to kind of create this effect here. So we've got our 3 images kind of going down on each other. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to animate our image to come out the side. So we're just going to come to the second image and we're going to come over to effects and then transform, and we're going to drag transform onto our image 2. I'm going to come to effects controls and we're just going to hit some keyframes on the start of the image, and then we're going to come over and we're going to slide the image out so it comes out like so. So we should come out something like this. So we're just going to add a little rotation just to make it pop out a little bit like so. So it kind of comes out of the side. So we're just going to drag these positions across. I think that looks good, and then the rotation, just rotate a little bit, like 12 maybe, so it just shoots out from the side. Then we're going to do the same on the last photo, is we're going to come over to effects, drag transform on our photo, and then we're going to do exactly the same. So we're going to make sure we've got our keyframes at the start. So keyframe these, and then go over, make a slight rotation on the other side, and then drag our clip over a little bit like so. So now we should have our images coming out of each other like that. So we're gonna make our main photo last the longest and then our other ones to cut out shortly after. So you should have something that looks something like this on your timeline, where there's your main photo lasts the longest, your second one is the second longest, and your third is the third shortest on your timeline. So you should have something like that. So now we're going to head over to effects. So we're going to type in flash, and then we're going to scroll down, and then we're going to go to the fast movement flash number 10, and we're going to drag that onto our flash clip. And then with the speed, we're going to type in speed, and then we're going to drag number 17 on. Just drag that one on like so. So now we should have something like this, which is a nice little shake, which looks quite cool. So just before this starts, we're gonna get an adjustment layer. So we just drag our adjustment layer on, and then go to speed and speed transition, and let's just drag on number 3. So we drag that on, then we're going to hold Option on our keyboard and drag it up to duplicate it, and let's line it up with this first photo, just something like this. So that looks pretty cool, but now what we need to do is create some flashes to sell this effect a bit more. So we're going to create an adjustment layer, drag the adjustment layer on, start it at the start. We're going to drag on, let's type in flash, drag on any flash you fancy. So let's just drag on number 3, drag that on, come over to effects, and then just line it up. So there we have our animated effect, but as you can see, our photos are quite static, and we kind of want to animate those a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this speed effect we created earlier by holding Option. We're going to come across to our photos, and we're going to line them up on our photos, and make sure this is above your photos, so this will actually apply to the clips below it. And then we're going to drag this one across, so we should have a really cool animated effect there. And then we can add a nice flash towards the end, so just copy a flash from earlier, and let's make sure we line them up, so you can select the keyframes and then drag them across. So guys, that was how to create that grunge paper textured effect in Photoshop and Premiere Pro. It's a really cool effect you can use for your music videos. I use this all the time in my videos. I'm kind of known for this kind of grunge kind of effect thingy. But anyway, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.